Check Podcasts.
Hi, I'm Bruce Williams. I'm the CEO of the Greater Victoria Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Chamber Chats, as always being broadcast from the podcasting studios here at the Czech Media Group, one of our chamber champions. I'd like to begin, as always, by acknowledging that I live and work in the unceded ancestral territory of the Lekwungen-speaking nations known to us as the Songhees and the Esquimalt nations. And Chamber Chats is made possible by the support of Island Savings, a division of First West Credit Union. So unless you are an Indigenous person with an Indigenous background, you're an immigrant to this country. Your family came here, as my family did, from Ireland many, many generations ago. And as we all know, immigration is the key to increasing our workforce, and it's the source for people that will fill the jobs that we need filled in this economy. So when people arrive, when our new Canadians are getting here, they have to be sort of helped and streamed into our culture here. And there's an organization in town that does that. It's called VIRCS, the Victoria Immigrant and Refugee Center Society. And Luis Gutierrez is the executive director, and he joins me now. Luis, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Bruce, for having me in your program.
You bet.
Thank you.
So when you meet somebody for the first time and they say, Luis, what do you do? What do you tell them?
Well, I'll tell them that I am the executive director of a multi-program, nonprofit and registered charity agency dedicated to creating a positive impact in the lives of immigrants and refugees settling in the Greater Victoria region. I'm honored to tell you that the work we do is aim to improve our world by having a local impact in the lives of newcomers and refugees. It is actually a team effort, and I'm fortunate to work alongside our incredible staff, multicultural staff, who are passionate about making a difference, and we are also deeply involved in driving the anti-racism initiatives for Hope Resilience BC, and through our programs, including the groundbreaking Anti-Racism Community Stewardships, or VIRCS program. We are also training community facilitators across rural BC, and it is also a privilege to lead a team committed to fostering positive change. Recently, we managed to change our vision and mission to review them, and currently our vision is to have empowered newcomers flourishing in their communities with a sense of belonging. And our mission is to assist immigrants and refugees in settling and integrating through comprehensive services for their evolving needs.
Yeah, you're the welcoming
That's
organization.
what we do.
Yeah, you're the welcoming organization. You make these people feel more comfortable when they arrive here. So tell me about VIRC's background. How was it established and when?
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity to share our journey. The Victoria Immigrant and Refugee Center Society, or VIRCS, was established back in November 1989 by three inspiring individuals who were refugees themselves. They came from Chile, Eritrea, and Vietnam. And this began a collective effort that's continued through the years. Today, our incredible multicultural staff who dedicate themselves day in and day out serve over 3,000 newcomers annually with a diverse range of holistic services. Together with them, we are striving to make a lasting impact. We have also formed strong partnerships with various organizations, businesses, and the community. These collaborations have truly enriched our ability to provide comprehensive support for newcomers. Our sincere appreciation goes to the federal and provincial governments and our donors, committed individuals, and organizations for their generous support, which enable us to carry out this vital work for the community and for newcomers.
Yeah, this welcoming that you do and the culture that new Canadians bring in enriches our country and makes us a much better place. And we're very pleased for the work that you do and everyone else does as well. So we've got some pretty ambitious numbers coming up. The Canadian government has indicated that a very significant number of immigrants will be happening over the next few years. Frame that up for me. What's that going to look like? How easy or seamless will it be to bring those people in and get them oriented through your organization?
Well, I have to say that not every newcomer comes through our organization. We only serve the southern tip of the Vancouver Island. But yes, managing the increased number of newcomers is a significant priority for us. It will be, I think, 100,000 more people living in the Victoria region by 2050, I believe. So in the past, we have engaged in meaningful conversations with our funders to provide them with feedback on the growing demand of our services. However, we are taking a more proactive approach now, and our focus has shifted towards enhancing our processes, integrating technology, and making data-informed decisions. Our our dedicated and experienced staff continue to be the backbone of our efforts. And by combining their expertise with improving networking capabilities, we're gearing up to take on this challenge. Our ultimate goal is to revamp the content and delivery of our services, ensuring they are tailored to the evolving needs of our expanding clientele. It is an exciting journey.
Very much so, yeah. I guess something that I hear quite often too is that when all of these new folks are coming into Canada and into this region, where do you hope they will live? Because as we all know, we have a bit of a housing crunch on right now. So tell me about that.
Well, there's very little that we can do about housing because, as you know, housing has the main restraint of housing is that there's not enough affordable housing to accommodate all the immigrants. And what we do is we do miracles with the support of our organizations, partnering organizations like BC Housing, and addressing housing challenges is a crucial aspect of our work. It comes with its own difficulties, and the shortage of housing and the high cost of rentals in our region makes this an intricate part of our job. I must admit that at times it can be truly challenging, and there are moments when we feel a sense of powerlessness. The reality is that there's a limit to what we can achieve, given the constraints, but despite the hurdles, we are determined to make a difference. And many clients resort to creative solutions like finding roommates, shared accommodations, or moving to more affordable areas. And that is a testament to their resilience and resourcefulness. Sometimes we're fortunate to witness what we can only describe as miracles, as I mentioned. And we collaborate and partner with Pacifica Housing, BC Housing, The Bridge, the Women's Transition House, some of the organizations that you already know. And the staff at both VIRCS and these organizations work tirelessly to find suitable accommodations for our clients. These partnerships enable us to achieve outcomes that otherwise might seem unattainable.
I want to go back when you mentioned something about the work that your agency does around racism, and I wanted to talk about that a little further. But first of all, you and I in a conversation have also talked about the fact that racism exists among landlords who will refuse to rent to someone because they're an immigrant or from another country. How prevalent is that? How often does that happen?
Well, we have cases. I wouldn't say that's the rule, but we have had individuals and families who have lost their rental homes and apartments because of accusations of being too loud or targeted because of how they dress and look. So yes, discrimination based on race, religion, age, gender, and ethnic background is shameful. And they come back and tell us they were kicked out or don't feel safe where they are living, and we help them find a new home, which is easier said than done under the current oppressive real estate market conditions.
That's disappointing to hear. And I want to talk next about more of what you're doing to manage the racism within our culture. Today on Chamber Chats, we're chatting with Luis Gutierrez. He is the executive director at VIRCS, the Victoria Immigrant and Refugee Center Society. So, Luis, your organization works on dealing with issues of racism that do exist within our culture and our society and our community, unfortunately. How can we make that better? Like, what sort of work are you doing to address that?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we are working as contractors for the government, and we are managing two programs. One of them is the Hub, which functions as a hub and spokes organizations around BC. So that's the only program that we have that it's currently installed in all of the province. And we also have the LCRC, the Resilient Communities, Learning Resilient Communities, and we provide the services of education, of anti-racism, indigenous anti-racism, and I think that is also that is a very important program for us because coming from newcomers and from immigrants, we experience that every day.
That's very disappointing. As something that you do, you do the settlement program. Settlement, again, is kind of it's a welcoming term, right? So tell me what the settlement program is.
Yes, the settlement program is a program that is intended for both individuals and families. And what we provide is we provide the information or orientation to get to the services that they need. So what we provide to these individuals that are needing to get information about how to get to the school, how to get a work, how to get a job. I'm sorry, how to navigate establishing and settling here in the Greater Victoria region and in Canada. So we kind of give them this orientation through workshops. Yes.
Yeah. You also do something called wraparound support. Again, sounds very welcome. Sounds kind of like a hug when you do this, the wraparound support. Tell me about that.
Yes, the wraparound support is a model of delivery for settlement services. So the wraparound, and it sounds very welcoming because it is intended to be welcoming. It's strategically designed to assist newcomers to grapple the complex barriers to settlement and integration in the Greater Victoria area. Sometimes the term settlement gets misunderstood with a legal settlement, and they get confused with that, but it generally refers to the period of time of adaptation between the newcomers and their community, during which time the government provides support and services to newcomers through agencies like VIRCS. So wraparound, as I mentioned, is a delivery model where individuals and their families can find the services and referrals to their needs under the same roof. Is a one-stop service, right? Our services are tailored to the unique needs of individuals and families. So we work closely with our participants to create individualized life plans through personalized and holistic settlement support. So this kind of services take a long time. So usually we are with our clients for months, right, to help them navigate all the barriers that they encounter when they immigrate. This program allows us to address not just one aspect, but all facets of their settlement journey. And we are genuinely proud of the impact this program has on the lives of newcomers. And we are grateful for the support of IRCC in making it possible.
So the settlement program involves no one going to court to reach a settlement. Don't confuse those two things at
No,
all.
yes.
So when we talk about people coming here, either as an immigrant or a refugee, certainly refugees are fleeing trauma where they've been before. And that can impact children in a really, really terrific and impacting way. Can you talk a little bit about what you do to work with some of the children that have come through that trauma?
Absolutely. Addressing the challenges children and youth face during resettlement is crucial to our work. We have a program, it's our Enable program, and is designed to support the needs of immigrant and refugee children and youth aged 6 to 19 years who identified as Indigenous, Black people of color. And the program also caters to permanent residents and newcomers. It's about ensuring these young individuals have the necessary support as they transition into the Canadian society. The Enable program also takes a holistic approach. It's client-centered and to meet these young people where they are in their life journeys. It is designed to address their academic, social, and emotional needs, and it provides them with vital tools as they integrate into their new environment. We aim to offer opportunities that enhance their sense of identity, belonging, and community with Canadian society and their particular communities while feeling proud of their cultural and ethnic backgrounds, which is so important for us.
We hear very sad stories, heartbreaking stories about families being separated because, for example, leaving Ukraine, and the father of the family maybe is staying behind to fight the war, but the rest of the family leaves. You do a particular program, though, to help families, entire families, intact families, become more oriented to the area, too. Tell me about that.
Yes, what we do is we have referrals between our two flagship programs, which is BCSIS and Wraparound. So what we do is we do an initial evaluation of what are the needs that our clients have. And in the case of refugees, as you mentioned, they face complex barriers because they're here and they didn't ask to be here, right? So what we do is we provide them with support from these two programs, and that's why we call it a wraparound, because we help them to settle in a better way.
And speaking of children, you also do a really cool childcare, daycare program. I want to talk about that next. Our guest today on Chamber Chats is Luis Gutierrez. He's the executive director of VIRCS, the Victoria Immigrant and Refugee Center Society. So you operate something called the Little Phoenix Daycare. It's a unique model. It's pretty cool. Tell me about that.
Yes, the childcare Phoenix, the Little Phoenix childcare. I'm sorry. Well, this is a licensed childcare, and it is the model that we have here to provide services for the youngest the youngest of our clients. And I have to say that this effort is particularly great because it's a remarkable project, and it was jointly undertaken by two nonprofit organizations. As you know, we are partners with the Family Services of Greater Victoria, and I would like to acknowledge the amazing work of Jane Lee, who is the Executive Director of Family Services, and Ilja Bambasi, who is the Little Phoenix Director, and they both directly oversee every little detail of what happens at the daycare every day, which is a lot, believe me, and it's monumental. I cannot find words to describe their commitment and dedication, and because it's a licensed daycare, we need to comply with very strong set of regulations because, well, it's children, right? So we need to be very certain that they are safe and they are receiving the care that their parents would give them at home. So our partnership, it is important to mention, extends to the School of Child and Youth Care at the University of Victoria, where it serves as a platform for groundbreaking research and contributes to the evolution of trauma-informed practices. So it is also an official practicum site for those studying child and youth care at UVic, offering their students a dynamic learning environment. Our ultimate goal with Little Phoenix Childcare Facility is to provide an innovative childcare program, which is attuned to the diverse needs of our children and families, especially those who have experienced various forms of violence and trauma, as you mentioned. Little Phoenix is designed to be a haven that offers a safe emotional space and fosters a culture of inclusivity and belonging, and offers tailored therapeutic interventions. Our funding comes from various sources. I have to mention that it includes the Ministry of Children and Family Development, United Way, Victoria Foundation, and also private donors. And it's through this collaborative effort that we are driven to ensure that children and families receive the support they need to flourish and heal.
Yeah, I serve on the board of the United Way, in fact, and we've all been thrilled to watch that whole thing move along and the successes you've created with that. I have to think, too, that one of the really sort of obvious, if you will, or basic barriers for folks can be language. ESL, English as a Second Language. You're very engaged in that. Tell me about that program.
Well, yes, as you mentioned, English is one of the main barriers to immigrate to Canada. And the ESL work holds immense significance in our scope of services. VIRCS has been committed to providing a small community-based ESL program for over 3 decades. And this program has been made possible through funding from BC Gaming, the nominal tuition fees that we receive also from our students, and also the amazing work of our great team of dedicated and passionate volunteers. We aim to offer a learning haven for those who might not be eligible for federally or provincially funded English programs. And this ESL program is a vital resource for individuals seeking to improve their language proficiency. The demand is evident. It's growing every day. It's among our most popular and highly attended programs. And given that some of our services are funded by the province and offer free of charge, our English classes play a pivotal role in bridging language gaps within our community. Recognizing the evolving needs of our clients and students, we're expanding our ESL program this fall, and responding to requests, we're introducing specialized classes, including CELP preparation, medical terminology, and business English. This ensures that our offerings align with the demands of those we serve. So when it comes to class placement, we conduct an ELT assessment to determine their English proficiency level. And while our initial mandate was to have 10 session classes, we have realized this approach isn't always conducive to effective learning. So many clients come in with basic language skills, and progress into a higher level is often challenging with such a short time frame. So we are committed to adapting our approach to better serve their needs, recognizing that language acquisition takes time and personalized attention. I would have to say that our clients are very happy with this program.
Yeah, and you talk about ESL with a business-specific language, which is kind of cool. And at the very beginning, we talked about how immigration and immigrants are going to be a big part of us growing our workforce, and you do something called Pathways to Professions. Tell me about that.
Well, that's a magnificent program. Also, I have to say that I wasn't aware of the impact of offering the opportunity for youth and for new immigrants to begin their journey by having Canadian experience and learning all the trades. So yes, its purpose is to build. Is to facilitate this transition when immigrants arrive. So since August 2020, we have been providing these comprehensive services to around 150 youth facing barriers to employment. And this initiative is more than just a job placement program. It's a lifeline of support and opportunity. Over the course of 8 weeks, these young individuals receive a living allowance totaling approximately $500 per week. However, the program's benefits extend far beyond financial compensation. At its core, Pathways to Professions offers youth an invaluable chance to gain paid work experience, as I mentioned, a stepping stone towards a more promising future. And furthermore, participants are eligible for completion bonuses, reinforcing their commitment to personal growth and achievement. So they stick to the program and they stick with us until the end. But it doesn't stop there. We understand that each individual journey is unique. So our program reflects this understanding, and we tailor our support to address specific needs, including counseling and skills training to assistance for disabled youth and funding for dependent care. So we are committed, as I mentioned, also, we're committed to removing as many barriers as possible, fostering an environment where every participant can thrive. The program also provides additional support through tools and learning supplies, further enriching the experience and equipping these youth with the necessary resources to succeed. Ultimately, Pathways to Professions stands as proof of our dedication to nurturing the potential of our younger generation, amplifying their prospects, and also helping them to overcome challenges on their path to success.
The work you do and the agency does is so important. There's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't get around to talking about, so we'll have to do this again later and catch up on the rest of what you do at VIRCS all the time. Luis, thanks very much for your time and for all you do.
Thank you, Bruce, and thank you to your audience.
Luis Gutierrez is the Executive Director at VIRCS, the Victoria Immigrant and Refugee Center Society. I'm Bruce Williams. We'll see you again for another Chamber Chat.